this week, I'm thinking, let me set the stage so that you understand what's a love for a neighbor. A long time ago, we were in West Virginia. Me and Maria had an opportunity to work in West Virginia. And where we were at, there's a lot of people that need assistance or that need handouts. I can remember one day out mowing the grass, and this individual came up and said, "Hey, buddy, you got a couple bucks for food?" And I looked at him and I said, "I tell you what, I'm hungry too. Why don't we go ahead? I'll quit mowing, and I'll go and I'll get you something and I'll eat with you." And I thought I was doing a good thing. And all of a sudden, he says, "You mean to tell me you can't spare a couple bucks? You don't trust me?" I thought, whoa. I said, "Not all about that." I said, "I'm hungry. Let's go together." "Nah, it's okay. Don't need it. Don't need your money." I started pushing the mower. And I got thinking, Lord, did I overstep my boundaries? One of your needy came up to me and asked, and I rejected and refused. And I was talking to the Lord while I was mowing, and a few minutes later, he came out of the store with a brown bag of adult beverage. And I said, "Thank you, Jesus." And there's all kinds of times that we have people that claim to be our neighbors, but yet, how do we handle this? In the latest one we had a young lady. We have a lady staying at she's not that young, a lady staying at the not a homeless shelter, a women's shelter. And so there was a friend of hers that was being kicked out because she spent 2 months. This is only a temporary stay, but she was only staying for 2 months. So she came to the church asking for money so that she needed $700 and some so that she could move into her apartment. That from then on, the state was going to be funding. The government was going to be funding. So we talked about it. We got together. We discussed this and that. And says, "Well, we can't do that. The church is willing to go ahead and give you $275. Get some other churches to help you get that $700. But we get a phone call back, and this lady says, "Well, they won't. We can't do it. I couldn't get enough money, but I made arrangements with a hotel here in Jarvisburg, that said he would take the $275 and give me a hotel room until that time comes." So, well, the decision was made not to check up on this, and come to find out the story wasn't completely straight, and we declined from giving the money to her. In our movements, or in our establishment as a church, there's many times that people come and they say they are needy. Who is our neighbor? And this is what got me thinking about this. The love for a neighbor, because as Tomac read in Romans 13:10, love does not harm to a neighbor. Therefore, love is the fulfillment of the law. Will you bow your heads with me for a minute? Please, our kind and gracious Heavenly Father, as we come and discuss your word, open our hearts and minds. And Lord, this is such a powerful responsibility. There's such power in your word. I ask now, Lord, that you will continue to use our minds and open our hearts to receive your words. Not my words, but yours be spoken. In thy name I pray. Amen. You start thinking, because I'll be honest with you, my personality, I can be pretty rough. And mine is, hey, we came from a church that had Dorcas that I felt was making derelicts out of people. And that just used to, we would enable them just to go ahead and go on, just giving out food to people that didn't want, they depended on the food coming and the clothes, that it didn't motivate them to go out and work. And then we had people that would come to the church in West Virginia, And I thought I was so slick. I said, well, they came and asked, well, we need money to get gas so that we can continue on our journey. We had a loved one that died. So we don't give money, but I will put $10 or $15 in your car to get ahead and help you on your way. I thought we had it covered. So I go over, represent the church, pump $15 into their tank, and go ahead and go back. And I thought, well, thank you, Jesus. Would you not know? I looked out the window. Here's the gas station. Here's the church. The gas station was right across the street from the church. They're going in, and they had money somewhere because they were coming out with adult beverages and snacks to feed the band. But they had money for that. So, I had to guard against being Rob Little, kicking against the old man. Paul talks about kicking about the old man inside, but yet doing what the Lord, be responsible for his funds. Because do you realize that when you give your offerings, those offerings are so sacred to the Lord that angels report back to the Lord about the finances because people prayed over and sacrificed over his funds. And it's something that we can't take lightly. But I was wondering, to love my neighbor as myself, along with the combination dealing with people, how that I could have a thus saith the Lord, and in being in church leadership, how we could go ahead and represent the Lord well with the money that's been given to us, being good stewards of his money. So come up, who is my neighbor? I'm supposed to love them as I love myself. It says in Galatians 5:14, for all the law is fulfilled in one word, even in this, you shall love your neighbor as you love yourself. You should know who they are, don't you agree? It is such an awesome responsibility. I said, Lord, how am I to get ahead? So I started, I said, this verse, it's love. There's no harm to the neighbor. Therefore, love is the fulfillment of law. We're going to discuss 3 words today that I think is sort of highlighted in this text. The first one is love. The second one is neighbor. And the third one is law. We're not going to discuss them in order. First is, who is my neighbor? And I got thinking I look across the street and I see Dennis is over there. I see a new person that just moved in on my right side, or left side, and over here the ladies passed away. They're my neighbors. I got it covered. But then I started saying, the Bible's got to explain itself. So let's turn, if you will, with me. Let's turn to start at Luke 10, and we're going to start at verse 28, and we're going to go through verse 36. Turn with me there. Luke 10. Verses 28 to 36. Are y'all there? Amen. Amen. And start out. And he said unto him, thou hast answered right. This is talking, we're picking up the story about the rich young ruler. Thou hast answered right. Do this, and thou shalt live. But he, willing to justify himself, said unto Jesus, and who is my brother? And Jesus answered and said, a certain man went down from Jerusalem to Jericho, and fell among thieves, which stripped him of his raiment, and wounded him, and departed, leaving him half dead. And by chance there came down a certain priest away, and when he saw him, he passed by the other side. And likewise a Levite, when he saw him at the place, came and looked at him, and passed on by the other side. But a certain Samaritan, as he journeyed, came where he was, and when he saw him, he had compassion on him. And let's go on down to 36. Which now of these 3 thinkest thou was the neighbor unto him that fell on thee? Do you know how far it is from Jericho? I got thinking, Lord, where is my neighbor? Do you know how far Jericho is, or Jerusalem is from Jericho? I looked it up. Jericho from Jerusalem, by the way the crow flies, is 15 miles. And if you go, which, a lot of times it's detours, climbing over the mountain roads, it was 45 miles to go from Jerusalem to Jericho. So how long do you think it would take a person to walk or ride a donkey 45 miles? What do you think? The average about 3 days. So now, our world is getting smaller. So for 3 days, if that was his neighbor, and Jesus is making reference, so 3 days out is my neighbor. So basically, what I come up with this study, you're looking, my neighbor is anyone I have contact, that I come in contact. We agree with that. People that I have come in contact is my neighbor. So now we got something, okay, that's my neighbor. Then in Proverbs 3:29, it brings it a little closer to home. It says, "Do not devise evil against your neighbor, for he dwells by you for safety's sake." I gather from this reading, this is the people that I come in contact with. So now I know who these people are that are my neighbors. Now I got to go ahead and love, because love is the fulfillment of the law. So I started thinking about love. This word has been badly represented. You can say, I love my children. I love myself. This love, a lot of times, isn't a pure love. It's love that's been defined by tainted prejudice or the way you've been brought up. Yes, I love my child. And to love my child, I'll go ahead and anytime I see mothers, the love of a mother for a child is great. But she's misleading. Well, I'll go ahead and I love my child. And then she lets them get all kinds of candy. Or she loves her child and she'll go ahead and let this child call her name and be forced into buying any kind of toy or any kind of item in the grocery store or at a toy store. So the idea of love, that's why I say it's been badly represented by people. What is the main purpose? What is love all about? Why do we even worry about love? What is the main purpose of love? If you love somebody, what are you trying to do for them?
Good.
Well, good. Tell me, I'm going to throw this out.
Not to harm them like that candy would.
Tell me if you agree with this, y'all. It is not to help people. Is it not to help people grow upwardly? To do what we are able to create a safe and nurturing environment for them. So when we love somebody, we want to go ahead and help them to give them the perfect love. A lot of times our love is a downward love, like it tears down, it doesn't uplift. But true, pure love will take and enable people so that they can go ahead and it creates a safe environment for them to be wanted, and it helps nurture them to be the best that they can be in their journey upward. Is that you agree with that? So how do I love my neighbor? Our best example is by the example of Christ's life. But many times we may think that we're loving someone the way that he would, but it isn't that way at all. We use our limited knowledge and worldly feelings to give a mixed up love. For instance, you take two items, and you take a bleach is a good cleaning agent. It purifies, and then ammonia in itself is good. But when you mix the two together, what do you create? You create a dangerous gas. It puts out vapors that can kill you. But in themselves, they're good. A lot of times we take something good and we put our own tinge to it, our own spin on it, and we create something that's deadly. Just like bleach and ammonia, many times we mix with worldly feelings about love, it would produce something deadly. I have a few statements, and I started reading about Ellen White. I went in and I started looking up neighbor and needy persons, and this is what I come up with to learn how to deal with my neighbor, how to go ahead and love my neighbor. Methods. And this is found in the sixth testimony to the church, pages 277 through 278. Quoting her, methods of helping the needy should be carefully and prayerfully considered. There are some who give indiscriminately to everyone who solicits their aid. In this they err. In trying to help the needy, we should be careful to give them the right kind of help. These are those who will help these are those who, when helped, will continue to make themselves special objects of need. They will be dependent as long as they see anything on which to depend. By giving them undue time and attention to these, we may encourage idleness, helplessness, extravagance, and intemperance. When we give to the poor, we should consider, am I encouraging prodigality? Am I helping or injuring them? No man who can earn his own livelihood has the right to depend on others. Men and women of God, persons of discernment and wisdom, should be appointed to look after the poor and the needy, the household of the faith first. You catch it? The house of Christ's house first. These should report to the church and counsel as to what should be done. Instead of encouraging the poor to think that they can have their eating and drinking provided free, or nearly so, we should place them where they can help themselves.
Amen.
And I was thinking, we have many people that come through Elizabeth City. We had one gentleman come and said, well, I'm walking across the United States. And he started telling us what he saw. He says, I just need a couple nights of room. That's all I need. And we gave it to him. But now, when these people come, I have no problem saying, brother, before you started walking out across the United States, you ought to make plans to cover this. I mean, we're not going to go ahead and support your vacation. You had this desire, brother, go ahead and get yourself. You should have had plans. Somebody comes to the church. Well, I need a room. Well, brother, we can't help you. Sister, we can't help you. I tell you what, you're in need for it. Come in, we're having a potluck. Let us feed you. But go down, you're in need of a room. I tell you, why don't you go down and tell the innkeeper, hey, I'm willing to work for a day if I can have room for a night. Let people be responsible. Help them. We need to be thinking, how can I? And I'm not trying to be cold, but we need to take it from giving them a free lunch and feeling good about ourselves while we did this, patting ourselves on our back. But we need to look at it with love. How can I empower these people so that they can get the pure love of Jesus Christ? What can I do to empower you that you can go ahead and provide your needs instead of just coming to the local churches and asking and depending on them, others, to go ahead to spend their hard-earned money and spreading the word of God to take care of your needs. So now it's given me a wealth of knowledge reading this. Not that I'll be crusty old Rob, but I'll look a little deeper. How can we empower you to go ahead and to provide for your needs, allowing God to use you? And it makes mention in these pages 277 to 278. She talks about, yes, we need to help young people. We need to help the needy to go ahead to learn how to cook for themselves. And we need to help them to go ahead and learn how to mend their clothes and how to get a trade to provide for themselves. So this Dorcas that we had in West Virginia, I'm no longer, it was such a waste of money, the church's resources, that we thought we were out helping people. But now to move more into, and in Elizabeth City, we are moving, polarizing, instead of increasing our Dorcas, our social care community service center, we want to go ahead and start focusing on being a learning center. We touched on the outskirts of it a little bit, but we offer an ESL, English as a Second Language class. We want to provide that. We want to get into some tutoring. Children that have trouble with maybe reading, writing, and arithmetic, to provide a service to go ahead and help tutor them. To get into maybe doing some later on, we get the volunteers to go ahead and help to offer a service for GED, to help empower these people so that they can become a useful part of society. What I just spoke about, does that make sense to you, or am I seeing this from a different eyes? I mean, we have a responsibility to God, and we just can't get the whim. You know, we think we're doing God by just going out and giving money away, shooting money and stuff, but that's not the whole purpose. I got to give myself to these people. How can I help you, brother? Maybe, you know, when the girls were growing up, I can only speak to girls who are growing up, it was tough love. And sometimes Maria would get on, you're being a little tough. You don't need to. There was no owner's manual on as being a parent, so I was doing the best, you know. I mean, it was, but at that time I had no need for this owner's manual. You understand what I'm saying? So it was by trial and error. Maria kept me calm down quite a bit, because I tell you, I could hit the panic button and things would get, you know, hey, I'm here, so we're going to go ahead and straighten this all out. And she kept me calm for the most part. Sometimes she couldn't do it. You know? But my point being is, I thought I was doing good, but now later on down life, I can see, you know, that wasn't the perfect love. How could I go ahead and give them the perfect love? And it's our responsibility as leadership in this church. How can I provide? Maybe somebody just needs to hear, no, we can't help you. They may cuss you like the guy with the adult beverage. He may talk to you like you got a tail, you know? But the thing is this is God's money, God's church, and what can we do to move out in this in a positive way? To do is give it a thus saith the Lord. Yes, these are my neighbors. Yes, I love these neighbors. But what am I going to do to empower them that they can react, that they can live under Christ's pure love? Use me as a tool in the tool bag or in Elizabeth City, or here in the Outer Banks as you are. I don't know if you have many people coming by asking you for funds and stuff like this. I'd imagine any church, anytime you meet, there's always somebody who sort of knows when the church meets and comes and asks for funds. Even within our own church, it says here we're supposed to we need to watch how can we enable our dear brothers and sisters to go ahead and make them dependent upon themselves, that they're not a detriment to society. It's not in these pages. She's talking about any time an Adventist or Christian, she says, goes and starts a business or moves to a new location, they are to have a business or be gainfully employed, that they do not become a burden on society. So our job is to help people to move, not to be in a burden in society. Because Christ, does he not promise us all this goodness if we go and do his will? So many times I say, Lord, did you not hear my prayer? I'm asking you for something and you keep telling me no. Well, am I so stupid I don't know what to ask for? But the thing is yeah, I guess he's right. I don't know what to ask for. It's tainted. So Lord, help me to know what to ask for. Help me, Lord, to deal with these people that I got to deal with. And the last one is the law. What part does that have to play? Would somebody look up? Let's look up, and I want to read it. Psalms. And I tell you, this is beautiful, beautiful. Psalms 119, talking about the law. Psalms 119, and we're going to start at verse 33. I'm going to read through 40. I was just impressed. And y'all, I know you have. Psalms 119, read it from the longest chapter in the Bible.
Starting where?
Verse 33. Right there. shall observe it with my whole heart. What is the law? You know, a lot of times we look at the law, and it's a negative connotation. The law is God. It's what he's about. Like the law, I think I mentioned it before when I was down last time. The law of North Carolina, it's what they're all about. Help keep us safe. There's laws that they're all about. These laws is a character of God that wants to keep us safe. And the drawing draws ever so close. Yea, I shall observe it with my whole heart. 35. Make me go in the path of thy commandments, for therein do I delight. Incline my heart unto thy testimonies, and not to covetousness. Turn away my eyes from beholding vanity, and quicken thou me in thy way. Establish thy word unto thy servant, who is devoted to thy fear. Turn away my reproach which I fear, for thy judgments are good. Behold, I have longed after thy precepts. Quicken me in thy righteousness. So these here, so I can receive righteousness. The law leads me to righteousness. And if you would turn over to 105, in the same chapter, page, thy word is a lamp unto my feet, and a light unto my path. And reading this word has given me stability in my stable. Now I still bobble and weave like a wobbly, but I can see where I'm getting stronger. My legs are getting stronger spiritually. And he is willing to go ahead and make me strong. I've got to want to learn his precepts. Do I like his precepts and his laws? At times it cuts me quick and hard. I would rather not go through this, but I need it because my love, my idea of love is tainted. So that my love can draw ever close to his love, he's going to have to hurt. It's going to have to hurt a little bit. You ever heard that saying? And I know where it originated from. This is going to hurt me more than it's going to hurt you. I used to hear that when my mom or dad would say that. And I think, are you for real? I'm the one going to receive it, especially my mom. She was the one that could lay out the retribution. Man, now I understand. This hurts the Lord, but he wants to go ahead and he wants to teach me to love. Have my love be ever closer to his love. And how does he do it? Through his laws. He's going to go ahead and lead me. And with his laws of love, I can reach out and be a witness to my neighbor. Helping my neighbor. Whether it's time, no, I can't do that, or no, we cannot help you. But to go ahead and give the people that I come in contact in my realm of influence, thus saith the Lord, but yet we lead them closer to this pure love. To be a tool, to be a beacon for God here in Elizabeth City or in wherever you're planted in the Outer Banks. You know, there's going to come time we're going to be tried and tested. It may be tomorrow, it may be the next day. Somebody's going to come up. And it's going to be something that we have to go ahead. And the first part of this is prayer. What? Seeking the Lord's will. If we seek the Lord's will and care to do his will, he will lead us in the path of righteousness. Do you believe that?
Amen.
Have you seen him? It's like here in the Dale, with April, I believe that's April asking you about what's the center line, and you saying, well, the thing is, it's not so much legislating law, it's the education. The education, we live in it, is the best form of witness. I can get up when I go to work, these guys talk to me about vegetarian, make fun. I can say, look, you guys got this tainted pig meat that's got all kinds of it. How about if I bring a piece of pork in here and put it in Coke and let's see what happens then? But I can see, even though they ridicule me, even times when we have a cookout, they think about, hey, what can we get raw? So it's not that I look at food, I don't go and try to when we go to the lunchroom, I don't want to degrade anybody's food. But through my witness of not saying nothing, They know. And look, and I tell you what, my general foreman comes up to me and says, "Hey, what do you think about this, Ralph?" I said, "Man, I got a book over here. What's the guy that does chips? The chip program." What? Yeah, he's got, what is it, Health Power? Little thin book. I had it in my toolbox. I read little excerpts from it. I said, "Brother, do I have the book for you?" I gave it to him. And then there's a cookbook. I said, "Well, yeah, I read some stuff." And he said, "Well, what do you think about this?" And I said, "Well, how about a cookbook, And we had a cookbook at home. We still got it. It's called From the Plant to the Plate. It's by the people out in Weimar. This lady wrote it. And he was making recipes. And I made a loaf of bread, took into my supervisor. And not this guy, but another one. And he ate it. Man, now, he says, that bread's got some consistencies. I said, "Brother, that's nothing but," I said, "I ground the wheat for you too, brother. That stuff's some good stuff. They're like spinach to Popeye." And he said, "Yeah," he says, "that was some," and then Maria made these oat patties, and I took them in one, and he said, "Man, I loved it. Give me the recipe." I took him in some cashew cheese and macaroni. He says, "I want that cheese recipe." So the guys come along.
Awesome.
And check this out. I mean, I never pushed this on them at all. And I was asking, he used to have a cabinet shop. I'm getting long in the tooth here, long-winded, but let me just share this with you. He had a cabinet shop before he became into being maintenance general foreman. And I said, "Hey, do you have any knobs? We're redoing the knobs and handles and the hinges, redoing our kitchen." I said, "Do you have any of these knobs?" He said, "Well, let me look." And he came, "Do you like this one?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "How many you need?" I said, "I need about 35. He says, "I'll take care of it." So he came back and I said, "Well, how much to owe you?" He said, "No, they're free." I said, No, this ain't free. These things would cost $3 a piece down at the store. You give me $100 worth of knobs? No, I can't do it. Can't do it. He said, "Why are you doing that?" I said, "What are you talking about? Why am I doing that?" He says, "Man, you know the information that you give me, and you're wanting to go ahead now, take this away from me to give you these knobs." You see how the Lord leads? And how, at times, I tell you what, to be honest with you, I could choke these guys. Really, they just get on my last nerve. I could choke them. But I keep wondering, well, why am I here? And the Lord keeps leading me. Who to my neighbor? So I just got to go ahead and keep giving them this perfect love. Not my love, but keep pointing them to Christ. And out of this witness. And I'm surprised. And I made some flour, put some flour in. So he talked to me about making bread, how he's excited. He says, "You know something, Rob?" He says, "I lost 18 pounds. I said, "Well, praise God." He says, "I'm feeling better." I said, "Well, you just keep," and all the thing I'm doing is just being there and encouraging me and taking a little oat burger every once in a while, some mac and cheese, providing, being a source of information for him,
Amen.
So it's amazing how the Lord works. And my point, I got thinking, you said amen. The Lord's got a mighty work here for you in the Outer Banks. People are going to come. I can get frustrated, coming in. It's the same family all the time. But the Lord, there's some troublous times. And may I ask you all, maybe it's time now too to think about it. I'm not saying spend a lot of money, but get into maybe your vernacular down here. And our vernacular in Elizabeth City needs to be, hey, it's time for another outreach. Maybe it's to just show a video, there's a video from these scientists in Texas. They're called Rosemont, I think it is, and they talk about this Christian. His name's John Ball, and he explains how creation had to be and not evolution. And he goes through a scientific way. It's 5 hours. Maybe put on host that. I don't know. But we need to use the vernacular. That needs to be, okay, what's this month? There's something always. We take a breath. After we go do an endeavor, take a breath. But now we got our second wind. It's time to run another mile. So that means, I'm not saying it's something that everybody's overpacked. It's something that we can do, that we're constantly spreading the word of God, this love in the Outer Banks. I thank you for listening. I did get some. I got an education, and just coming down to hear Dale and April, you don't know how I appreciate that. Hearing the answer that you gave to the question that she asked. I really appreciate that.